Sonic is back for an all-new venture on the big screen. So today, let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin. All I do here is watch movies and shows in theaters and on streaming services. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite to battle Shadow, a mysterious new enemy with powers unlike anything they faced before. With their abilities outmatched in every way, they seek out an unlikely alliance to stop Shadow and protect the planet. This is directed by Jeff Fowler once again, and with each entry in this Sonic franchise on the big screen, he starts to understand the video games a little more. Now, I'm not a big Sonic video game player. I do remember playing a lot of Sonic as a kid. The first three Sonic games, Sonic Pinball. So I do have fond memories of playing Sonic. Not too familiar with Shadow as a character, but I was real looking forward to seeing Keanu Reeves voice this character. And there is a lot of nods to the video game franchise, at least from the video games that I played as a kid. You start to understand more of what works for these characters, and that's less of the human subplots and more focus on the video game characters. Tails, Knuckles, Sonic, and now Shadow. You still have your human characters in here, but they're very limited within this film. Where some of my biggest gripes for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was that there was just so much focus on human characters. That whole wedding subplot didn't really need to happen. So it's really toned down within this film, and that allows for the characters to develop more naturally within this film. I really liked Shadow in here, where Knuckles in the previous film served as this comic relief. He was serious and very tense at times, but you understood the humor from Knuckles. Here is Shadow, voiced by Keanu Reeves. He's all serious. He has a very tragic background that they do explore within this film, but he brings this level of intensity to the film that starts to challenge Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic in more ways than one. So he doesn't provide any humor within this film. He's all serious. He has a tragic story, but you fully understand this character. And at times it feels a little bit generic, some of his backstory, but it does work for that character, and it's fully explored within this film. And on the other hand, you have our trio, Team Sonic, that they develop as well. They start to learn what it takes to be a team. Knuckles now fully joining this team. We have a chance for them to grow as friends and see what works for them. And there's going to be some conflict along the way. And by doing that, and the big reason that you can explore all of that conflict is less of the human characters. The action still is really great. It feels like there's more in here because less humans. You have more of things that work within the video game franchise, and you have little nods to the video game franchise, and a lot of the action is really intense. You can see some of the inspiration from like Akira, and you see that Shadow has this ability that is so much different compared to Sonic and Knuckles and Tails, and they are challenged quite often within this film. But the action definitely is there, and the visuals once again pop. Shadow, a lot of his backstory and his overall look is darker compared to the brighter characters of Shadow, Knuckles, and Tails. So there's that nice contrast of colors within this film, and the visuals are stunning. Jim Carrey returns as Dr. Robotnik. He has a dual role within this film. He plays Dr. Robotnik, and he plays Dr. Robotnik's grandfather as well. I love that he's just so committed to this role. Jim Carrey is a very talented actor, and whatever role he's in, he goes all in with it, and he's very committed to that performance. And he's hilarious in here. A lot of the quirks from the first two Sonic the Hedgehog films are within here, and then he also has a new personality for the grandfather that works. There's some nice stories between them and Shadow, so he has a lot of fun within this film. You get your typical Jim Carrey quirks within this film. He's funny throughout this movie, and there's a nice development of that character. And there is a mid-credit scene that teases a fourth film that got me really excited, things that I did recognize from the Sonic franchise. And so this is a very popular film series now. People seem to really enjoy it, and I would just love for them to continue making these. If they can have less of the human characters and more a focus on the Sonic characters, I think they got a good thing going. Real quick, if you're interested in seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 3, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have seen the film, comment down below with your overall thoughts on the movie. And if you could see more exclusive content from me, consider joining my channel as a member, and there you can unlock exclusive movie reviews and ranking videos. I don't have the most problems with this movie. One thing that I did notice about this film that seemed to bug me a little bit, Jim Carrey. I thought he was funny, but a lot of his jokes did not land, and they seemed to go on for quite some time. It's a little bit over the top. He's funny in here, and I think some of the jokes do work, and it's distinct Jim Carrey humor, and it works for Dr. Robotnik, but with having this dual role within it, he goes a little bit toe to toe with himself, and a lot of the humor just seems to be a little bit over the top, repetitive throughout. It feels like it's extended and overstays its welcome. So some of the humor from Jim Carrey just did not do it for me. I enjoy Jim Carrey in here, and I still like Dr. Robotnik within this franchise, but just some of the humor from Jim Carrey seemed a little bit much at times. That's one of my biggest issues. Other than that, I thought this film was a lot of fun. I love the intensity that Shadow brought to the film, challenged Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. Some of the nods are there. Some of the music and the sound within it, I did recognize. I'm starting to really buy into this film franchise. Jeff Fowler is starting to fully understand the video game and starting to bring some of those quirks and storylines into play, and realizing that the human characters really didn't do too much, and they start to be more limited this time around when you can fully develop the main characters within this franchise. I enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Sonic, I do recommend checking out the third film. Honestly, I think it is the best one of the three, and I'm real excited for the fourth one. I'm gonna go ahead and give Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.